Hello, all you lovely soul inspired beings out there. This is Gina, Soul Inspired Reflections. It's been a while since I've posted anything, and I just felt inspired today to come on just this evening. It's 7:30 p.m., September 22nd, 2024. We're in the equinox energies. And Gus and I, my lovely Doug, went on a nice hike for most of the day. And I just kept hearing this nudge about talking about coherence and integration, really this this merger of your hearts, but also the balance and harmony that comes with balance. So I'm coming on. I don't have any script of any kind, not that I usually work with one most often. I have a new deck, Golden Future by Diana Cooper. So I'd like to remind you on this channel, on what I like to support people with, is just assisting you in your organic and unique process of ascension, soul awakening, embodying your I am presence and your soul, really, as you're going through a morphometagenesis state. You're transforming from the inside out. And it's very complicated and simple at the same time. But by no means do you need to take everything I say. Trust your intuition, because that's what this is. Part of the ascension and your growth and your transformation is coming into your sovereignty, coming into knowing that you are an aspect of God, source, creator, that you are a creator, that you have the power to change your life, to change the way, to change everything by choosing to be different, by doing your inner work, as many will say, being willing to look at yourself in the way that you contribute into the challenges of your own life. And oftentimes it's just becoming that observer and witness without any judgment of anything. Just being like, yes, that's showing me what it is in this moment, in this potential timeline, as so many will say. So you have so many opportunities right now to choose the highest timeline available to you within your soul imprint, within your God self, within your divinity. Because what's happening for so many of us that are choosing, that are awakening to the soul within, and they're choosing to keep going forward and integrate with their 12-dimensional self, their higher self, their I am presence. Some will even connect to their monadic family, their soul family and soul matrix types of energies that all of us have the ability to connect to. And part of that is also, as you ground in to the celestial heart, I'll say, you must also anchor that energy into the body. And that's when we refer to that 0 point field. Take it to the 0 point, because as above and so below, you are part of all those above and below. Your body, your light body, is designed to bring in your higher self, to activate these different strands of energy, I'll say, these cords of energy, and have them come online in coherence with your higher self. And it is through the higher heart and Alta Major. Those chakras must be open, as your lower chakras must be elevated in the way you relate to the world. That means you're rebuilding your foundation. You're coming from a place of love, safety, trust. You're reconnecting to your personal power. Some of you may hear me talk about the pillar of light or your 12-dimensional shielding techniques. That is connecting your umbilical cord back to your direct power of source and your 12-dimensional self. And so you're unplugging, you're literally unplugging from the old matrix and plugging back into source, to God source that you come from. So I come on today because heart coherence, and we have this beautiful golden heart here. Look at all the color and reflections. Let's just take that in for a moment. As you ground and center yourself with the breath, that holy breath of life, your life force energy, breathing in through the nose and holding it, really letting that energy fill your body and exhaling, softening and relaxing. Some of you may be feeling all sorts of things. I know for me, I am feeling like I am stepping, and not even feeling, I am stepping through the next phase. Sorry, I bumped the computer. The next phase of my own soul growth and ascension, as are you, should you choose to walk through that threshold of what's here for you. We're in an opportunity where today is a state of equilibrium of light and dark in the planet. But there's also very powerful energies that come with equinox. And you may be hearing people talking about, oh, the solar flash, and it's an important energetic occurrence. And we've been having many solar flashes increasingly over and over and over again. And your body feels that. And this one too is very important for the planet to receive this next level or phase in the ascension process through solar flashes. And your body may be feeling that right now. So you may be feeling all sorts of different things, excited, new inspiration, more focus. Maybe some of you are feeling more aligned, but there may be some of you that don't. Maybe you have more anxiety. Maybe you're like, I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's triggering old behaviors and patterns. That's perfectly fine. Bring that to your awareness as that neutral observer and recognize, oh, these other patterns and stuff's being released from my cellular memory. So I no longer carry it with me as I walk through this next phase. It could be an initiatory process for many of you in your soul expansion and ascension. So take a breath, connect to your heart center, connect to your sacral center, connect to the heart of the earth. Bring that back up, connecting to your heart and then higher heart. Bring that breath all the way up from the core of the earth, up through your earth star chakra, up through your energetic centers. Got your heart, your higher heart, your throat, your third eye, and the entire third eye complex, the entire higher heart complex. And taking it up through the crown, through your higher chakras, and into the heart of the earth, and breathe that unity breath of your Father, Mother, God energy, your masculine and feminine energy coming into harmony, coming into balance, the hemispheres of your brain coming into harmony and balance and activation, that divine feminine energy coming in through you, repairing the left side of your body, repairing the right side of your body, repairing your bones, your tissues, your skeletal structure, your respiratory system, your endocrine system, and you breathe. Allow that life force energy to assist you. Call on your higher self, your I am presence, to assist your body and bringing that energy into the 0 point field as you are the neutral observer of your ascension, of your body transforming, of this world transforming. And just sit in that energy for a moment and allowing whatever needs to move out of your field or fields and bodies, emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, move out of that field and be alchemized into the highest light, activating you on a cellular level and all the spaces in between. And that is matching you and your divine moment of now, your eternal moment of now, exactly the way it needs to be as you are opening and clearing and purifying your centers and integrating this higher form of light. We'll go ahead and connect to that golden heart, your golden light, your golden line, your source, your Father, Mother God, coming into balance, because you are not separate from that energy. This all lives within you. The universe lives within you. The elements live within you. All the energy lives within you, and it comes in and through your body as you let go of the pattern that was laid over you. You're letting go of the pattern that was laid over your purity, that energy that exists within you. Let's see what the Golden Future deck, Oracle deck by Diana Cooper would like to share with us. But first, I'll share the prayer inside it, or decree or great beings of light, please guide my way so that my golden future starts today. Great beings of light, please guide my way so that my golden future starts today. Great beings of light, please guide my way so that my golden future starts today. I'm going to say that 6 more times. Great beings of light, please guide my way so that my golden flame, my golden flame, my golden future starts today. Great beings of light, please guide my way so that my golden future starts today. Great beings of light, please guide my way so that golden future starts today. Great beings of light, please guide my way so that my golden future starts today. Great beings of light, please guide my way so that golden future starts today. Great beings of light, please guide my way so that my golden future starts today. 3 more times with me. Great beings of light, please guide my way so that my golden future starts today. Great beings of light, please guide my way so that my golden future starts today. Great beings of light, please guide my way so that my golden future starts today. And take a breath in and hold that energy in. Holding it in. Absorbing that energy. Exhaling. As you're expanding that energy in through all your cells and the spaces in between, and out and through your entire light body and auric field, your light column, your core center, your pillar of light, your pranic tube, your heart line. You're exhaling, holding that breath at the base, and you're projecting that golden light. And breathing in and finding a nice cadence with your breath. And I see this card here. Yeah, the animals have been speaking a lot. And this card here, the 12 chakras. Yes. And beautiful planet. Okay. We have 6 cards being pulled from here. See what they have to say for you, me, and the collective. Take what you need, leave the rest, or come back and visit it, and maybe it'll speak to you in a slightly different way than in this present moment. So the first card that was pulled was the animals, 25. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. Okay, and I've been speaking a little bit about the animals. Some of you know my dear, dear, dear shaman dog, Gus. You know, especially if you watch me on Instagram, we often talk while we walk. Honoring the animal kingdom is the message here. So just take that in for a moment of honoring the animal kingdom. And we'll see what wants to come through, how all these work together. And then we have the 12 chakras. Which says, follow your ascension path. This is the second time this card has come up, and I've only used this deck twice. Follow your ascension path, dear ones. Yes, yes, yes. Follow that, because your ascension path looks different than mine. It looks different than your neighbor. It looks different than your friends, even if you're in circle together. Okay. So we have an ascension path that our soul comes in to do, right? So to honor each other's role in that ascension path through neutrality, okay, through observing and allowing space for that. Okay. There's nothing for any of us to do for someone else as far as their own work in their ascension, because they're on their own timeline for that. And we all have our divine will. Okay. And we have teleportation and levitation. Expand your gifts and powers. Okay. This may mean a lot for some of you as you're awakening, and going through your ascension. Because remember, ascension is happening within your body. It's directly related to the earth and the universe, but it is happening within your light body. It's a merger of your divinity into form, into the human body. It's a merger of your 12-dimensional self into this 3D world. Okay. Meaning form. Okay, that's meaning form. This identity of Gina is bringing in. I'm bringing in my I am presence, right? Mm-hmm. And the animals can assist us in so many ways, and we need to elevate our relationships with the animal kingdom as equals in their powers and energies. They work with you, not for you. Okay, so many of us have we've become to lean on our animals in a way that we're looking for them to support us emotionally, mentally. That is no longer the agreement. I'll say you have the power to change that soul agreement with the dog or cat or bird that has come into your life. If you're evolving, okay, if you're evolving on your ascension path, that means that to me, it's also that self-mastery comes in, that you know how to take care of yourself, your well-being. Okay, that you know how to balance and harmonize your emotional and mental bodies. Because that's the biggest piece, is that mental body and emotional body are very, very much related. You can't really separate the fields at all. You impact one, you impact them all. Okay. So how might you, and this is also including it looks like even the angelic realm. When you have to remember, at least the way I know it to be now, you are the angelic realm. All these realms live within you. You are part of the animal kingdom. Okay. You once walked barefoot on this earth, sensing, connecting in the deepest way. So animals can remind you of how to use your skills. They can remind you how to use, as people call them, gifts. But these are the way we're designed. So I don't really, I use the term gift loosely, because we're designed to operate this way. We're designed to use telepathic abilities. We're designed to teleport. We're designed to expand, masters of light. Okay. When we use here, it's referring to teleportation and levitation, which is very interesting. And perhaps we'll read the card on that. But as you evolve, let's see what comes through first through my presence. As you evolve, and it's even more than the 12 chakra system, because our light body is infinite. But as you evolve in your self-mastery and anchoring light, purifying your energetic system, meaning your thoughts are pure, you're able to hold the purity of what is. This is those activities of creation I've talked about on Instagram, the primary 7 activities, which I'm pulling that up right now for you. And let's see, sometimes I forget them. This is activities of creation. When we begin to master these things with everything we do in our vision and bringing something into form, that's purity of holding the divine pattern. Okay, so part of this ascension path, right? Follow your ascension path is you bringing in your divine pattern. You bringing in your divine pattern of your 12th dimensional self and higher, right? We want to focus on your 12D self, your I am presence, the integration of your presence, your Christos Sophia, the balance of your masculine and feminine energy. We're talking about balance today here on the equinox, right? It's a balance, even equilibrium of light and dark. Number 2, externalize the thought form. And to me, I wrote focus, perception, concentration, constancy, rhythm, and to hold this with peace. And to hold peace and abide by the wisdom of the law. The wisdom of the law, universal laws is what we're working with. There are laws of balance, harmony. There is a universal law of gender, meaning that masculine and feminine principle. When you begin to work with these laws, the universal laws, and have them work through you as you ascend and as you come into your abilities and grow accustomed to how they work, right? And how they work through you with peace, with grace, with ease, with purity, meaning the utmost integrity, meaning you, me, we all collectively, because there's also the group, the collective group, collective consciousness that's evolving to a state where we're mastering our mental body. We're reclaiming the power of our mental body. We're reclaiming our power connection to source. And so we must have the utmost integrity and remember that what we say, do, and think matters, because that puts it in to the quantum fields, everything we think, say, and do. And that's not an easy thing to say, stay out of judgment, right? Or think unkindly, even if it's for a second. And then there's that self-correction. So continue to follow your ascension path as your abilities begin to open up even more. And everybody's on a different level of their abilities and their ascension path. So just be right where you are and know it's perfectly fine. I still, these things with teleporting and levitation, because you're mastering light and you're mastering the ability for particles to come in and out of space. Because space and time is no longer existing in the same way we once knew it. Okay, those of you that are going further on your soul's calling, ascension path, and awakening and recognizing that's deeper mission to assist the planet ascend, and for you to ascend and return to your state of an ascended master being, right? And that too is just a phase, a step, okay? But you must be able to harness that through your light body and hold that blueprint in this physical form. So some of you also may be feeling different changes to your diet, going through what some people would call ascension symptoms, pains, joints, certain foods not your body doesn't want anymore. Maybe hydrating is highly important, right? So, but taking things into your 0-point field in stillness, clearing and mastering the ability to clear your light body all the time. Because remember, we're being programmed all the time through our technology, through nanotechnology, through everything that we do. So the ability to continue daily practices of your 12-dimensional shielding, your anything else that you might use in clearing your body and keeping releasing cords or preventing out external cords from connecting to you or getting reconnected to the old matrix, because that can happen to any of us. Right. And then you begin to start to embody with more ease your higher self into the physical body. And some people are naturally doing it that may not be using this language of soul awakening or ascension path. You'll notice it in the way they speak, the life choices they're making, and things like that. Those of us that know and deep down in our hearts and our soul missions, part of that is to support humanity rise by us doing this work and then collectively coming together to also anchor in that higher light, right? You have your divine will and choice, right? And others may stay in a lower vibrational state, and that's okay. Don't worry about that. Just continue on your ascension path. Okay, and that's part of what solar flash is as well. Like, it's like an arc of time happening, like the Noah's Ark with the deluge, right? It's like, boom, it just went into a higher octave of time, into a different harmonics. Your light body is doing that as well, because that you'll come into the harmony of the spheres within your light body and begin to operate in higher dimensional states, right? Especially those that are recognizing they've done the work with their lower triad, meaning their root, sacral, and solar plexus is coming into harmonics. They're elevated in the way you operate and run through life, right? You've moved out of a victim programming and moved into trust and self-empowerment, right? No longer doubting yourself in the same way. And some of us may still be working with that, especially as we kind of level up, as this one might say, that up the spiral, because it's a new plane, right? So it can be uncomfortable. But remember, you've done this before. You've ascended before. So this is where you can call in that timeline from your soul matrix. Okay, this is the important piece of connecting with your 12-dimensional shield, you connecting with knowing how to use your light body, and you can bring in that timeline and memory into your 0-point field, stillness, into the physical body, and you can begin to operate from that place. You purify it in the present moment of now. You release any limitations, right? Because this is also part of your gifts, is to remember, how do you release and clear any discordant energy from any past life that exists within you, because you have access to it all the time. It's always living and operating, and then you can bring it into its highest state of purity within you. Okay, so honoring the animals, right? Animals can assist you with your higher sensory perception. They can assist you with your telepathic abilities, because that's how they communicate. They can assist you with remembering what it is to feel vibration. Okay, because some of this is also potential changes with the earth through weather shifts and earthquakes. I remember writing about that about 6 years ago, that there would be bigger potential, I'll say, with weather changes, earthquakes, and things shifting, because you are coming online. The planet is coming back into her alignment. Everything that was cockeyed is now coming back into an alignment, coherence, heart coherence with your higher heart, with your cosmic heart. That means you're having a bigger heart opening right now, and that could feel unsteady, but that you're also having a third eye opening as well. And some of your people's clairvoyance abilities are going to come online too. And that could look differently for everyone, because there's many types of clairs, right? And But for some of you, it may be the more expanding in the third eye and the visual and the clairvoyance piece may be coming in more. But that also that ability of like telekinesis for some people may be kicking in. But we'll read more about that card in a minute. There's something about the levitation piece, but so that sound comes to mind with that too, because sound and light therapies highly supportive to maintaining the wellness of your body, especially as you are evolving. Okay. And I use some of that in my own practice for myself and for clients. Sound and color. Beautiful planet. Restore the natural world. This is a very interesting card too. It's beautiful. I'll hold it up for you. It says our beautiful planet, card number 24. Restore the natural world. And this card is so beautiful. You have this beautiful child in the field blowing bubbles. And I don't know about some of you, but I remember blowing bubbles as a kid, and it was so much fun. And I still lay down on the earth like this. But you notice like the flowers are blooming, the animals are around her, but it's all this radiant light coming in to this card. Very much connected to the magic. You see all the fairies, the butterflies, the transformation. It's a highly transformational time as we continue. A lot of light in this card. And you even see this bird here. There's elevated sight, right? Because it's also our I am presence coming in. It's the ability to see everything from a higher perspective, but be fully grounded and playful and like it's all okay. There's full trust there, right? There's full trust there. There's nothing to do with it except be, observe, and play with life and restore the planet. Part of this being in our ascension path, using our abilities, connecting to and with the animal kingdom is all supportive on restoring the planet. This is a huge piece to some of our soul mission and collective soul mission is restoring the planet, helping her restore to her divinity, her rightful place in the universe, in rightful vibrational and frequency states, right? Because you got to remember you've walked this planet before. Your entire history is here. Hi, Gus. You might hear Gus, right? As you anchor in and connect to with your pillar of light, and part of that is connecting to the sacred geometry of the Merkaba star. When you connect into the core of the earth, you're connecting to your 12-dimensional blueprint that is held there. You're also connecting to the celestial piece to that, the masculine and feminine energies coming together. The Merkaba is very much about balance. It's very much about balance. And when you're in balance, that vehicle around you, it's not just the shields above and below your feet and above your head. It's also your light vehicle that turns into a sphere of light when it's oscillating in perfect harmony and balance. It also is around every single living cell and particle. And okay, you can use it for healing as well. It holds the elements in it. It holds Christ consciousness energy in it. So when you're working with that particular light code through the sacred geometry, know what that this has a deeper part in raising the frequency of the planet. Because every time you connect there, you're expanding that disc, your individual blueprint, right? So imagine if 1 million people are doing that, they're expanding that energy in the core of the earth. Boom, boom, boom. So those of you that do grid work, maybe you're tying another piece into that going, oh, wow, every time I've been grounding, I didn't know this before. When we're grounding to the heart of the earth, what are you really grounding to? What is it that you're activating? What is it that you're supporting to activate? Right? It's a pretty amazing thing. And this is just some of what we know, right? And some of what we begin to learn. So you're helping and assisting. You're assisting to restore the natural world. Natural world. Harmony, balance. And then we have the waters of the planet, because the water, you are mostly water. So is the planet. It's alive. It's alive. Those of you that have studied Dr. Emoto's work, and there's other people carrying on that work and studies, you can program water. So what you say, the power of your word, your throat chakra, very much connected to your heart, very much connected to your sacral center. The throat. Hi, Gus. You're okay. How are you speaking? That matters, because every time you speak, you're programming the air around you, because the air holds water in it. You're programming your body, your cells, because your cells are water and crystals. This is a beautiful card because it looks like a whale and water, and then there's dolphins underneath the water, and it's just beautiful imagery. And then the seagulls and a surfer, but that's all elevated. It's like lifted up above the ocean. And it says, bless the rain, rivers, and oceans. Absolutely. And there's for those of you that like to work with water and blessing the water, if you go to Era of Peace, I believe it's .org, Patricia Cota Robles, she has a beautiful water ceremony that you can get. You only have to pay for shipping, and she'll send you this little sacred water that was collected from a number of places around the world. And you can make your own sacred water and do the prayer, and then you can take it to water sources and pray and add that beautiful water to our rivers, lakes, and seas. It could be part of your work, is to bless the water. And the more of us blessing the water, the more we're activating those crystals inside, the more the structure, the molecular structure can change and to become pure, right? And some of you may not realize, but you can teach the elementals and the animals how to use the violet flame of transmutation and transfiguration and things into light. You can teach that. If for those of you that communicate with animals in the elemental kingdom, if they're willing, right? Because you have so many that do take care of the lands, right? Like the gnomes and things like that. So think about how powerful we are when we work together. We work together. It's all of our homes. Okay, ascension happens here within the body, and there's no place to go. There's no place to leave to. It's all here. You're going through an inner transformation that is happening on the micro level and the macro level. So just know that. Let's see if there's one card from the Sacred Geometry deck as you connect. Oh, yes. Let me read about card number 17, which was the teleportation and levitation, because there's something in there for some of you, and maybe it'll bring clarification too, right? Because you also may want to be mindful of the ego getting in the way. Really pay attention to that, because come back to your ascension path. Part of that is really repurposing, coming into higher mind, I'll say higher ego. Right? You don't want to be in the lower ego anymore. It's really letting that go, because it's as you open up and your gifts come online, your abilities come online. I still feel it's like you chop wood and carry water, right? You must have a lot of integrity within yourself as you walk this world and become more neutral and loving, right? Because your foundation is now from a place of love and trust and inner peace, which then becomes an outer peace, and it shifts your entire reality. Okay, it shifts your entire reality, all the entire worlds, right? That see all the worlds behind her and the worlds within her, right? These dimensions, right? So card number 17. Let's see. Sometimes I have to take glasses off. Teleportation and levitation. Soon after, and remember, we're talking about the golden future, Diana, and there's so much that's going to be happening in over the next 5-10 years. It's just everything's moving very quicker, you know. Soon after the start of the new golden age in 2032, many people will be able to rise up and float a short distance to different locations. Yeah, that's pretty cool because our abilities. We'll also be able to, I don't know if this will be in 2032, but when you we'll get to a place, because we are a battery and we're full of like we'll learn how to give and receive energy and also store it within the body in such a way that as you walk into your home, you can command the lights to turn on and off, right? So really you'll just need sensory things that you won't even be on the grid system that we know today will be non-existent. I don't know if that will be in 2032, but I had that vision of it when I was playing around recently with I have little solar lights, those little hanging ones right there. And they go up into let's see, there you go. You could see them into the stars. I wanted the stars to light up. So my hand, I was putting it over the little solar panel. It was at night. I was going to make an adjustment and they weren't turned on yet. Every time I put my hand over it, they turned on. And I moved my hand, they turned off. I put my hand over it again, they turned on. And that's when I realized, oh, that's right. Because we will be at a place at some point in our ascension and in our abilities to command the energy to turn on, to command the lights to turn on, meaning to send energy there. So I'll be back on this, this is really cool because that's really not that far away because we're in 2024. But it's self-mastery. Remember, you're mastering your light body and your connection. Excuse me. Okay. So soon, I'll start again. Soon after the start of the new golden age, and for those of you maybe just joining in, we're talking about this card here, teleportation and levitation. Expand your gifts and powers. Okay. So soon after the start of the golden age in 2032, many people will be able to rise up and float a short distance to a different location. They will also have the ability to teleport objects. So they call teleport objects. That means sending them to somewhere else. I'd have to research to get a different understanding or deeper understanding of the difference between teleportation and telekinesis. Because telekinesis, you're moving things, right? Like with my mind, move this cup to another part of the table. The teleportation would be moving it to an entirely different location, right? So you have to be able to command particles form, like the molecules and energy to come apart. It's like Star Trek. Okay, they teleport to another location, come back in full form. Okay, that brings us back to the 7 activities of creation. You must be able to master that to do things like this. Okay, because you have to be able to hold your form, hold your shape, hold the divine blueprint. That even means holding the divine blueprint of this glass, if that's what you're teleporting, right? And so we've seen this in movies, right? We've seen it in movies. But by about 2050, people will be able to teleport themselves instantly from one place to another. Yeah. However, these ways of moving take a great deal of energy, just like I'm talking about. You need to be able to bring energy in. You have to master it. You have to purify your system. You cannot be dense in thought and voice, and you have to bring things to a very neutral place. Okay, so that's self-mastery, people. So if you're not willing to go there, you'll be more challenged to develop these skills at this point. Okay. And it's not about getting there fast. Just allow them to come online at your soul's timeline. Okay. There's nothing to rush because you've got to do the inner work so we don't repeat bringing in, you're coming off of a karmic cycle. Okay. Remember, so you're in the cycle of ascension already. And everyone's at different stages of that and feeling it differently. So about 2050, people will be able to teleport themselves instantly from one place to another. However, that means we'll be able to just imagine food in our hand. I remember talking to a friend of mine about that about 10 years ago. And I told her, no, look, eventually we'll just be able to visualize it and go, I want an apple. And then there is one in my hand because I want to enjoy the apple. Because then you'll be able to just use the body in a totally different way than, because we'll have different ways that we fuel the body. Okay. And food, it's just going to change. It's not going to be in the way we know it today. So, however, these ways of moving take a great deal of energy. So the majority will always prefer to use a transport, drawing on universal power rather than their own. That's interesting. However, these ways of moving take a great deal of energy. So that majority will always prefer to use a transport, drawing on universal power rather than their own. Let's just pause with that for a second. Because if you think about when, say, an ascended master materializes in front of you, that takes a great deal of energy for them to bring their form into density. They have to bring it into a denser materialization to take form. And it does require a lot of energy. And then they dissipate back into another form of energy. The high priests and priestesses of Atlantis had the power to glide up the temple of Poseidon, and some could even fly to other star systems for intergalactic meetings. Soon after 2050, the inhabitants of Earth will have retrieved all the awesome gifts available during Atlantis, and then their powers will soar beyond anything conceived during that era. Anything conceived during that era. So these, I don't want to put too much on this right now because so many of us are in a pivotal moment of just getting our foundation recalibrated and getting used to that. So as exciting as as our gifts come online, our abilities, they're not gifts, they're abilities. It's important again to be neutral, to be mindful of the ego, to use these things with the utmost integrity and responsibility. And really, if you aren't holding those qualities, those higher qualities, you won't be able to do it. Because you won't, if you have ill intent of any kind, it's not going to happen anymore. We're none of us, should you choose to continue on your ascension at this time, you're quickly corrected or you're put on hold until you correct yourself, right? Your ascension will pause, I'll say, has the potential to pause if you're misqualifying these attributes. Okay. And I know of a few people that already can levitate, and it's quite impressive. But it does require a lot of them when they do it. But the first time I saw it, I was like, whoa. And but it was also a lot of toning this gentleman was using to be able to do that. And what I thought was interesting is if you do see someone practicing, because you're mastering also your light body with this and Merkaba, don't interrupt them. Okay. Some people will want to interrupt and cause distraction. And when you're at such a focus, because you have to focus, right? It's one of those activities of creation to master these things until it becomes just easy to do, right? It's like muscle memory. You're mastering how to be the baseball player. Your basic skills go over and over again of catching, throwing, hitting, right? Those are you practice them over and over again, but it's such muscle memory. When the game happens, you already know your body knows how to do it. And so this too, your abilities become muscle memory, but you must practice them. I'm seeing in my mind's eye those that practice martial arts, right? Or even what Marvel movie was it with Doctor Strange, right? And he seeks out the woman so he can learn how to work with energy, because he met that person that was channeling energy through his lower limbs so he could walk again. Even though his injuries to his body, medically speaking, wouldn't have allowed him to walk again. So that took Doctor Strange to seek this woman out so he can regain the use of his hands, right? But they were all practicing. They were practicing the use of it. Okay. You're practicing. You have to practice. Be committed, be devoted to your ascension. It doesn't mean you have to do it for hours on end, but if you did a few minutes every day, such as your 12D shielding or light body every day, night and morning, before you go to bed and when you wake up, I truly know and feel your way you walk through life and go through ascension would be vastly different if you're having any challenges in that arena right now. But back to the card, here's the guidance. The guidance of this card for expanding your gifts and abilities. This card is a reminder that you are an extraordinary spiritual being with many latent gifts and talents. If you sometimes dream you are flying, you are remembering an advanced power you possessed in Atlantis. Have you ever seen yourself in two places at once? If so, you are bilocating. Have you ever become invisible at the moment you raised your frequency beyond the normal range of human sight? Okay. You may even have teleported instantly to another location. Saint Germain was a great master alchemist and the magician. He is known as a keeper of the golden seals and is helping you bring your gifts forward. Ask him to place his column of gold and violet light over you and open you up to who you truly are. Acknowledge and believe in the possibilities that await you. That is the first step towards regaining your powers and preparation for the golden future. In preparation for the golden future. That is key. You're right now are preparing. You're preparing your light body. You're preparing your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual self. You are integrating your 12-dimensional self into the body. Okay. You got to bring it into physical form. You're using and being reminded of the skills of the violet fire, the golden light, calling on ascended master guides to support you in your, I'll say, training, to remember that you are an ascended master being, okay, guiding you back to your heart and higher self, okay? Always bringing in your higher self, because you are the authority. You're at equal level. You may not be at equal stage in your abilities, but you work with your guides with equality. It's a mutual equality, right? Because they cannot access your I am presence for you. You must do that. You must bring and build your pillar of light to bring in your higher self. Okay. And to anchor that into the earth and into your body and ground it into the celestial field. Grounding is not just into the earth, it's also into the celestial heart, the cosmic heart. And I've met people too that were very good at raising their frequency and using like invisibility cloaks is what they would call them. And we probably hear of some people already knowing how to bilocate and those things. But there's stories about that too. Um, so keep in mind, it's a time of preparation. You're preparing. So do a little bit each day. Work with your light body. Work with the animal kingdom. Pray in the water to raise its frequency. That means you're praying over your body as well. And we're helping, we're assisting, not helping, we're assisting to restore the planet. That means you're also assisting to restore your being, to come online, to come into harmonics, to be in equilibrium with all of life. I'll pull one card from the sacred geometry deck to see what frequency, vibration that will ask that will assist in this reading today. And it's a beautiful deck created. It's called The Keys to Realizing Your Divine Nature by Leon. And I love Leon's work. Leon Kraayanburg. Okay. sacreddna.org, I think it is. So let's see what card wants to come out. We'll just pick one from this deck, but every now and then, what to pop out. All right, let's see. I'm just going to shuffle it a couple and then I got to do other things that I've been putting on that are related to the light body. One card, please. Support us in this reading today that we can bring into our energetic field for our, that meets our highest good at this present and eternal moment of now. All right, this is the card. Intention. Now go ahead and take in that image. Let me get the glare off of it. Of intention. Breathing in and exhaling. The sacred geometry and light code of intention. Taking that in, well, I am going to look up the message that he wrote with this card. All right. Thank you, guys. You can give me kisses on my feet. Okay, so intention. I'll hold the card back up as I read. Feel, oh, there's an affirmation. I might not be holding the card up. I realize my oneness with the inexhaustible supply, the mighty love, wisdom, and power of God, Source, expressing itself through me. I am aware of the source of my thinking. I'll read that again. I realize my oneness with the inexhaustible supply, the mighty love, wisdom, and power of God, Source, expressing itself through me. I am aware of the source of my thinking. Feel that you are the center of consciousness in the divine mind when stating your intentions. In this state, you will recognize and realize your oneness with the inexhaustible supply, the mighty love, wisdom, and power, God Source expressing itself through you. The power of consciousness, right intention, thus becomes profoundly realizable with the awareness that the instruction of the intention given to the subconscious mind is in fact the workings of the universal mind, and manifestation is assured. The manifestation of one's thoughts become most powerful when one becomes aware of the source of one's thinking. When you recognize the fact that the consciousness is the originator of the thought, and that the consciousness is that divine life, the power of the divine mind individualized in humanity's mind, then your intentions become a power. Intentions are wonderful by themselves. However, in order to fulfill the law of the universe, one must place sufficient attention on the intention, followed by the purposeful action, pure action, which is living in the present now, the only time there is. Remember, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So keep your attention on matters of intention and aspiration. We must become aware of the truth of our creative power and experience the tremendous joy in the understanding that our consciousness is the ruling factor, and the point through which we think is the same point through which the divine mind thinks in us. Breathing in, taking that energy in of intention and purposeful action. Yes, yes, with purpose. We must remember with purpose and intention. Those of you who have followed me for a while, you hear me say that, intention with purpose. And I was happy to see that in Leon's card because I was going to add that and I didn't need to. Because it's a powerful thing when you bridge those elements of intention together and to be with purpose in it, right? And there's so much magic that happens within our actual function of the brain and the way we're designed, and our reticular activator system is very much connected to our intention and purpose. It activates it. It's divinely, it's just amazing when you begin to work with your energetic fields in this way, and then bridging the biology of the body together and the way it's designed through energy. So intention and purpose as you walk your path of ascension, as you're expanding, as you expand, because remember, it's an inner ascension, right? As you're expanding your powers and abilities, right? You're expanding them. So, some of this might be new for some of you. That's okay. You're connecting with the animal kingdom and reacquainting yourself with the agreements that you're placing on between some of your pets and things too. Like, allow that to change. You are the master of your body and emotional well-being. They do not need to carry that on for you any longer. It's no different than an empath who is taking on other stuff. It takes time off your lifespan, right? It can create an imbalance in health. So just know, as you're mastering your body, your animal doesn't have to agree to that anymore, right? You can walk side by side in harmony with each other because you are master of your body now and well-being and learning and taking care of yourself, right? That doesn't mean you don't comfort each other. That's not what I'm saying. It's not cold. It just becomes more expanded and more, I will say, revitalizing for both of you. And then as you're praying amongst the water, your water body and the bodies of water along this planet, and even because remember, it's in the air, it's in our lungs. And because we're restoring the world, right? And that means you're also restoring the world within you. I'm Gina Libido, Soul Inspired Reflections. My website is www.soulinspiredreflections.com, and you can email me at that same email, Gina@soulinspiredreflections.com, and be happy to hear from you if you have, or if you want a session, a clearing and integration session. I'm happy to do that. That can be done remotely via Zoom, but feel free to reach out if you like. Go ahead and share some comments below if you have something more to add or insight. And remember to keep this community, because we all, even if we're not leaving comments, we're still sharing information in some way, that it is aligned with your heart, and that you'll be mindful and purposeful in the way in which you share, and that this is a place of peace and growth, and we all walk each other into our higher selves, while we're all doing our individual work, but we're doing this work together as well on a soul level, on a human level. Much love to you. Until next time. Again, this is Gina signing off for the evening. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. Oh, and before I do sign off, some of you may be interested. I did an interview presentation on the New Earth One Network, which will be released October 7th. So for those of you that are part of New Earth One Network or would like to be, check out their website. They have a lot of different facilitators and offerings for people that are also on this ascension journey that you may be interested in. But there's also, I will be talking about the 12-dimensional shielding and technique, and there's so much to it. It's hard to cover a lot in 1 hour. But in any event, maybe have a listen and see if you're interested in learning more about that. So that's the New Earth One Network. I'll post more about it later once I get the official link. But it's October 2nd it comes out, and which is not too far away. So that's this part of me stepping into my next phase of being more supporting people and guiding people through teaching, and really giving them a space to grow in other tools, because I know for me that's where my soul really lights up, is to ground and integrate and to return the body into a harmonic state as you are ascending, and how, not just how you work with your light body because it's an experiential process, but also the study of it. What's happening in the body through your energetic system, right? And then also where it gives you a place for you to maybe even talk to someone about what your experiences are. And but in any event, check that out if you wish. Much love to all of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Again, this is Gina Libido, Soul Inspired Reflections. Thank you for listening and taking the time. And I hope, remember to like and share this video if you feel it may support someone else.